use Internet Explorer. It's the only browser it'll work in. So it's on this computer. I have it right down here. Jackie gave me her password. So you're not going to want to go in under me, because I'm not going to be on this much longer. And like I told Jackie, I don't want you guys putting my name on your stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Not casting any aspersions. I'm sure you guys are going to get great at it, but for now,
No.
I don't want.
Absolutely.
So capital L, number 3, and then,
Leominster. Alright, so that gets you in.
I fucked around with the mobile version last night.
How different is the mobile?
I never used the mobile.
Okay.
What's this? Is this something you're working on?
Oh, yeah, just the attic sketches. Basement.
Alright, so it'll bring you to this screen. This is the control center. So a lot of the jobs that you've been dicking around with lately will be right here. Control center is where, usually it's Jackie, but I can go in and connect, and if we get something from corporate, you can connect and it'll be here. So you don't have to create the corporate ones. They'll be created for you. You just need to bring them in. I usually go right to the projects page. And this is everything. You'll see that there is 24 pages that are, I don't know how many jobs on each. 24 pages of these. The older you get, if I go to page 24, you'll see some shit from 2016, 2015, old stuff. If I hit creation date twice, bring me back to it's going to dick around on that page because I'm on that page. But if you ever open this up and you end up on page 24, just hit creation date a couple of times and it'll bring you up to the first page. First page is the shit that you guys are going to have in progress.
Right.
So it looks like you guys put a couple things in here.
I put 2 in yesterday, and one was an attic mold, and then one was stupid fucking fire in Fitchburg.
Okay. Do you want me to start one from the top or go into yours? And
I mean,
so how I would get something up and running in here would be I can either add a new job here, or I can go into the control center and do it from here.
yeah.
If I'm in projects and I go to add something, add a new job, if it doesn't give me a project number,
Yeah.
every once in a while it gets weird like that, you can get out of it, go into the control center, add it from there, and it'll give it to you. Why it does that, I don't know. So it's a contractor profile, and then I just want to build a you don't write an estimate all at once. You kind of build it as you go.
Sure.
So you start off with. Do you have something you're working on?
This is kind of an easier sketch. This is real shitty.
I can give you an attic mold that I looked at.
Or
a quick easy one.
something with stairs, maybe.
Well, we can do this too. We do part of it anyway.
Some of it, like right here, it gets wacky.
Yeah.
That's the actual measurements.
Well,
from that
let
corner.
Chris show you how he do it when you give him something that you can't really put in.
Yeah, let's do your sketch. That way
Right.
And Rich, we'll do your sketch too. Is it the
Yeah, I
same?
mean they're the same house. Tom
same
just did the
house?
second floor, and I did the first floor.
All right.
And then, yeah.
This is the first floor?
So that's the first floor. Tom was the second floor.
All right, so who are these people?
It's German Nunez.
All right, try to keep it uniform. Last name first. Address.
It's 254 Merriam Ave, Leominster.
All right, phone number.
It's 978-467-7841.
All right, so you drop their email in there. I don't know what the fuck all this is all of a sudden. You guys should be in here. You guys should be in here. I don't know what this is. Jackie must have tried to do something with them.
Colvin has it checked out right now.
All right,
So need
so
any other info?
I just want you guys to have your names on these. That's your number, right, Rich?
Yep.
Okay. So you're there, and I'll put Tom in here.
ELLIERE.
What's your number, Tom?
978-877-7235.
Okay. So now, when you guys go into the, who's ever writing it, just pick your name. Tom, you're in here too. Hit OK. And that'll put your name on the cover page with your phone number and your email. So if you send something to somebody, they call you back. They
Right.
call the right person back. Type of job. This one's a fire, right?
Right.
And what I'll do down here, in file number, is if this is an estimate, then I just write estimate. If we're working at this house, then I put the street address. And I put the street address because if we get a dumpster invoice for it, Jackie can match it up with the job.
Okay.
And when it's paid, I go back to this and I mark it paid. So that if I save and exit out of this, every time you do anything, you save and exit out of it. So now the job is right here, but it doesn't, so I gotta hit refresh. Xactimate is, it doesn't work very good here at the office. See, here it is. So if I go back into projects, here's the new one. Right here would be where I put the street address, or I would just write, estimate. And then when it gets paid, like this one, it helps me when I'm chasing money. So back into it. You guys are working here, right? So Merriam Ave. That's page 1 of claim info. Page 2, parameters, is where you put your price list in. April 20. And then down here is where I keep the insurance company, claim number, adjuster's address, adjuster's email, all of that shit. If he's got a PA on it, all of that goes in there. So for easy reference. So I don't know if you guys have any of that info for this job.
I do not.
Does Colvin have it? Is this his
It's
job?
United Property and Casualty, but I can't check it in to find out the rest.
And it's that local guy is the PA,
Grenier?
Grenier.
So your claim number would, I'd pop that in. Justin Grenier, and then I'll put his email in. I think it's Justin at GrenierPA.com. But you want to get the United claim number. You want to get the United adjuster all in there.
Right.
All right, and then you just exit out of that. It asks you if you want to save it. Save it. There it is, right there. From here, you want to get your pictures in. Is there pictures in dry book for this?
Yeah, but Colin's got to check that one. See if he can check it in. He can manage.
Would it make sense to make a list of adjusters or people that you deal with that are more laid back than others?
No,
No, you want to do everything to your standard, not
Right.
to any individual person's standard, because that's actually harder.
that's
So-
how you're gonna get in trouble. Because Colvin gives you information one day and says it's UPC, and you say, oh, all right, well, this is easy. We don't have to do this, 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 or this. And then his information's wrong,
Right.
and you're like, fuck.
I gotta go back and.
You gotta go back and do it. We just have to start doing things, monitoring and sketching and doing everything correct, and stop trying to take shortcuts to get stuff done. Do everything, and then hopefully the person who gets your everything will say, oh, these guys did a pretty good job. And that we're not chasing our tail looking for information.
Just a question.
Sorry. No, I'm not mad. I think we have to perform every job to the highest standard and then back it up. I mean, unfortunately for us, Chris did an unbelievable job of making your dog shit turn into money. We can't put shit in now because shit's gonna come out. It's not gonna turn into a friggin' chicken salad. Anyway, go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
Does he get pictures for us?
He's got them. I just asked him to check them.
If not, we can pull pictures out of something else and just delete them. So what I'll do, and also in the same,
It's open now.
okay. So in the same, what did I say? This was Internet Explorer. You can pull open, go to production, and then jump into dry book desktop.
And you said it only, Xactimate only works properly in Internet Explorer.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure about this, but I've always been able to work with this here too, so I do.
Okay.
Because usually over here I got emails and other shit going on.
That would explain why I couldn't open it yesterday.
Alright, so here's dry book desktop. Here's everything you got going on. It goes newest to oldest. You find your job. If you can't, if your job isn't on this page, or if it's old, type the name in up here, and then hit the question mark. It'll give you some options. But for this, it's very important to have a sketch. And the better your sketches are, the least amount of questions are asked about anything else ever after that. Once they know that they walked into a house that kind of looks like what you got here, they don't really question anything else. So you want to have pictures for them, and you want to have sketches. And what they want for pictures now is like you would have to hire a professional photographer to have them go into these jobs all day taking. They want a picture before you put a sponge in your pole. They want a picture after you took the sponge out of your pole. They want a picture of every piece of equipment.
Every piece. Of
You know,
equipment.
every day. They ask for pictures of the fucking shit that comes in on a move out. The just boxes of shit. You know, show me the boxes. Okay, here's boxes. Here's a stack of boxes. Here's somebody cleaning shit out of a box. Anyway, this is Nunez. I just clicked on it. I got to it. What I want out of here, a couple things. I want to go into documentation. I want to look at the forms real quick and just make sure that they're signed. This one is signed. Authorization of services and direction of payment. So that's in there. Once I know that's in there, unless I need to send this to an adjuster, I can pull it out, send it, email it to somebody if they need to see it. But as long as it's sitting in here, there's nothing else I need to do. If this job goes smooth, Jackie will pull this out and send it with the billing. I don't need to tell you the forms you need to have signed. It's too late for that for me. Documentations. Back here. So now we're back here, and now we want to go to attachments. Here's your photos. You don't see them at first, but here they are. Okay? Ton of photos, huh? Big fire. All you gotta do is click this. It'll grab every photo, hit download. Takes you get a ton of photos, it'll take a little bit. So then you want to hit, instead of hitting save, I don't know how else to do this. I think I tried it a few ways, and once I get used to something, I just kept it. But I hit open, and then I hit allow, and then it'll bring me up over here, and then I want to grab all of them, shift, grab them all, right click on it, hit OK, copy them. I have a folder on my desk. You can have a folder on any of these. What happened to your computer, Rich?
I haven't had it for a while.
Oh.
Tom's had it.
So then I just jump into this folder, I right click, and I just dump everything into this folder. This allows me to look at this shit as I'm writing the estimate in case I want to. This thing that was popping up. In case I want to, see something in particular about a certain room,
Mm-hmm.
that I sketched, and now I don't know how many. If it had crown molding or something like that, maybe your pictures will show me, which is why I was always telling you guys to get back into the corner and get the overview. But you can jump through the pictures. I've used these to, get cabinet measurements that I did, that if it was a water loss or something, you guys weren't measuring cabinets, but if we had a good picture, I could get it.
Right.
How'd this thing start?
Looks like it's starting
Stove
to
fire?
We have a kitchen on the first floor.
Oh, how it smells pretty good.
Oh yeah.
It's a good one.
Is this two family?
Two family, yeah.
All right, so now I'm going to jump back into the estimate. Here's your photos. Click that open. Load images. Find that pics folder. That's the same folder we're in right here. Click here. Click here. Open. And now you got all your photos in your estimate. And like I said, when you're dealing with a water damage, even fire, like you guys put scrubbers in here, dehumidifiers in here. You know, the equipment goes in, and then the picture gets taken of it. Equipment goes in, and then the picture gets taken of it, and then when you're sitting out in the driveway getting ready to leave, load those photos back into the file, and then remember later to come into your estimate, go into your pictures again, and then just grab those photos that you put in. You know, like equipment pictures. Because it just, like I said this 1,000 times, anything that they can use to slow down paying you, they will. You don't have any equipment photos.
Did it?
You know what I mean? Then you gotta go back and get them, invent them. Hopefully it's just a question of you just forgot to
Did it?
dump them in.
Did it help you when photos were named by group, like equipment,
In here?
demo?
Yes. Yeah.
Post demo.
Yep. So if you guys went back and put some equipment in here, I'd expect that it would say, you know, air scrubber or DH. And so I wouldn't have to grab all these pictures again and figure out. I just go down and click the ones I want, download, open, bring them in, drop them into a thing. See, now when I'm done with these, if I was done with these, you just erase the whole thing out of this picture folder. A million years ago, I don't know if you guys were here, but we used to have cameras, and they used to come in and give me a card.
Yeah, I give you the card.
I had to fucking put the card in, and then I didn't know what it was. Like, at least now, you
You
know.
literally didn't.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was. Like, the first 50 pictures are this job, the second 3 are this job, and then the next 10 are this job.
And then Jacob.
It was a free-for-all. And those are the things that have really made it a lot easier is, you know, the cloud, just being able to go out and dump the shit into the appropriate folder.
Right.
So as long as information is going in, you can always work all weekend to get your fucking thing looking right.
Right.
Get your estimate right. So now your pictures are in, your information's in, you got this all, and now you're ready to sketch and get your start capturing money. So your sketch levels are down here. You can name them what you want. Is this the first floor? This is the second floor.
Second floor.
So I'm gonna start with this one. I'm gonna right click on that, hit properties. I'm gonna call it the second floor. And then I want this out of my way so I have more room. So then it's just a matter of getting this onto here. You grab, a couple different ways you can do it. The easiest way to get a consistent ceiling height is to grab a room from here, put it here. It'll always give you a 12 by 12 box. So what's your ceiling height here? Did you get one?
7-1.
Is
7 feet?
yeah. So second floor was 7. First floor was just about 8.
All right, so you want to right click in the first box that you make, and then you want to go down to properties, and you're going to find ceiling type, ceiling height. Here's a ceiling height, 8 feet. If it's 7'6",
Yeah,
then it's 8
7
feet.
7
You know what I mean? Give yourself the extra few inches.
Might as well make it 8 then.
Okay, you know, leave it at 8. Leave it at 8. Maybe I should do yours. Let me see what yours looks like. So if I laid these over each other,
Yeah, we did that. They don't seem to line up exactly.
it would be like this, right?
Yeah, it's they have a bunch of roof angles.
Oh, ceiling angles?
No,
Oh.
well, in closets, but not.
The layout's not the same
Yeah,
upstairs.
it's just the rooms are, the house is in a box, just basically.
All right, I'm gonna make this front bedroom 1. Is that what that is? B1.
Yeah.
Bedroom. Let's call it bedroom 1. I'll drop it down. So I have what I try to do, Tom, is just what I want to do is get the 2 far walls do file measurements, and just work from there. So, I know I got 6 feet here, I know I got three there, I got 9.3 to the door, but the door's at an angle. I'm gonna assume that this hallway is 3 wide, right?
Yeah.
3 or 3.5?
Yeah.
9.3, 12.3. I'm gonna say that is this. And you'll be able to understand what you've written better than someone else can when they go to
I'm trying to interpret what
interpret it. You know what you're gonna know what your shorthand is. You'll invent a shorthand. So this is 10.6 to this wall.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna make that 12.6. I don't know. Okay. Do you see how I did that? So you pull a wall from the middle.
Mm-hmm.
You can take a sketch class, or you can obviously Google this shit, YouTube this shit on how to do this Xactimate sketch and learn how to sketch. It's easier. If I pull it, I can go this way and then click this and then put a 12 in, and I'll be at 12 feet. It's another way we can do this. So this is a bay window here. So if I wanted to use the 10.6 number and put the bay window on, I just move this wall enough to be able to light this box up. You go 10 feet, and then you want to click up for inches or down for inches. 10 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Here's your windows. So you got.
It's a standard window.
So you have a standard window here. Oh, why did it make it that big? Standard window, let's say it's 2.5. I don't know why they're not that big, right?
They're at least 2 feet.
Okay,
They're pretty decent.
all right. Now this looks like some sort of bay situation, bay window situation, or is it just the angles of the room?
It's just the angles of the room. They're just same standard windows in each
So I can
wall.
cut these in. If you want to cut a wall in like this, I try to stay away from this. It's just fucking. I don't want to be a sketch pro here, but you can cut a wall in by lighting up the corner and pulling it. This won't allow me. Maybe because I got a window there. I'm going to take this back out to 12.5. Maybe if I put a break in here. Alright. If I wanted to make that a bay window, which might have been a better way to do it, you can do it like that.
Okay.
And then lengthen it out, you know?
Okay.
So I could take this wall. You want to grab, if you grab a wall in a square, you change the length of it. You can do it that way. It gives you a little bit more credibility.
Yeah, and then you're short.
You know what I'm saying, when you're dealing with the adjuster. He says, yeah, that room looks like that. Then you can just drop your windows in. Take this one down to 2.5 because it looks like. So if you gotta put multiple of anything in, windows or doors, get your control. So I got windows on my thing
I'm
here.
looking to cancel one of my employees'
It
cards.
won't let me put a window in there for whatever. Sometimes if it's not long enough,
Yeah.
it won't let you put the window in. So what you can do,
I do not, I have the
Is
name, last name is Meach.
put 'em into,
M-E-E-C-H. First name is Chris.
I want 3 windows. Because more than anything I want, so I just back that window out. More than anything,
Sure,
I want to
right,
just
so
capture the fact that I got 3 windows, and I want to capture the fact that that backs that square footage off the walls. So I'll just take 3 windows over here. It's a door. 3 windows over here, wherever I can get them. Somebody has done something to this Xactimate. I didn't have a window. It should be. Why is it giving me a 5-foot window? You know what? I'll just copy this one.
Like you can copy and just, that's cool.
Paste. Here. 2, 2, 3. Now I got 4 windows in that room like I'm supposed to. I know that this kind of angles in for the hallway, but I'm not gonna bother with that now. I think the next thing I want to do is put the hallway in. So
Okay.
I'll put a break at the doorway. Sorry. A break allows you to pull a section of wall. So that's where you find a break. And when I go to put this on this wall, see how it's giving me some measurements?
Measurements.
Yep. So on the inside measurement, inside the bedroom, I want to probably be about 3'4", 3'5". Now I have something else to grab here. I hit Control, and I pull that, and now I got my hallway. Looks like you've got it at 22.4.
Yeah,
Is that right?
that's the greatest
I
length.
can go to any distance and then just click on what I see in the box and then hit 22.4. All right, and then I'm gonna name it second floor hall. If you just call it the hall, you'll confuse it with the first floor hall. What is this? This is the hallway coming up from
Right.
the stairs, right?
Yeah, it's coming up around the corner, and then this is a landing, doorway to a,
Porch.
I'm sorry, right here is the landing, and
Mhm.
there's another doorway, and this is an area, and right there's stairs that actually go above those stairs. I just freaking,
So this is up to the attic.
yeah, this actually goes all the way to here, but I wrote my stairs downstairs, and
Okay. So
but
here's
the
how,
measurements are right.
here's how you do that. I know that this is 12.2 because I don't want to start looking at this to see from what this is from
Right.
here and this is from here. I know that it's 12.2 and that it probably starts 3 feet out in this hallway. So again, I'm going to hit a break. There's a couple different ways you can do it, but I'm going to hit the break. I'm going to go to about 3.5 or so, and then I'm going to grab. Looks like you're got an awkward angle here, but you're
Yeah.
4'11" across.
Right.
So I'm going to pull this again. I got to hit Control, pull that, and I am at 5 feet. All right. So this is a hall to attic. All right. So there's my width, and now I'm 4'9" plus. Looks like you get 7'1". Which is what, 11'10", almost 12 feet. Kind of looks like that, right?
Yeah.
And then it kind of turns
Yep.
turns the corner. It looks like you got 8'1".
Yeah.
So at 4'9", so now
Right.
I want to see. I've done this,
Right.
and now I want to kind of capture this.
Yep, going up.
So here's my break. I'm going to drop it in at 4'9", landed right on it. And then I'm going to take this and pull, and I'm looking at this number now, right? Because that's this,
Yeah,
8'1".
yeah.
I'm going to leave it at 8, 8's good enough. And then your stairs start, right, up to the attic. You've got an open space here. I know you got an angle, and I could probably dick around with this angle a little bit, but it never looks like the house. You know,
Yeah.
these old houses are hard.
Yeah.
Now, you ever do something and you wish you didn't do it, and you can't really pull it back? This is the undo button.
Yeah.
It's always the last thing you did. Click that. It'll take you back to where you were here. All right. You got an open area, and then you got some stairs here. You got some stairs down and some stairs up, right?
So see, like I said, this
Mm-hmm.
right here, the stairs up. So there would be a door right there,
Mm-hmm.
and then these stairs go from
Yeah.
here that way down. So the stairs to the attic overlap the stairs going down.
Yeah. Are you gonna be working on both of them? You gotta
Uh,
clean both of them?
We were saying that the attic seems to be unaffected, so the stairway though is pretty stinky. Probably has to be washed. The stairway going down to the first floor.
You got overlapping stairways. You can just, so I'll show you. I'm gonna grab a stairway. Staircases are over here. This is an L-shaped staircase. You get T-shaped, which is, really fancy houses.
Mm-hmm.
You got U-shaped. U-shaped is like for split levels,
Oh yeah.
See
Come
that?
down. Mm-hmm.
Just let me delete it, please. Oh, sorry about that. I want to go back to.
Oh,
That-
that's pretty cool.
That's cool. I don't know how I did that though. I gotta go back to that. Alright, I'm just gonna move these stairs for now. So this is a L shape. So I'm gonna grab an L shape and it's gonna give me some standard measurements. They're usually pretty good for stairs. But your distance here is 13.1 total. So I know if I got 5 of it there, then I got an 8 foot.
Yeah.
I got 8 feet here. I got 3 here. There should be 5. That's already pretty close. These stairs are usually pretty standard. You can manipulate them a little bit, whatever you need, but usually when you pull them, they're pretty good. I think if you had this, right? Now you got an overlapping stair, I know, going up, right?
It's this wall isn't 5. It's not 5 feet to the start of the stairs.
Okay.
It's
So I can move this.
probably about 3 feet.
All right. So if I want to take this to 3, pull it, get a number, tap in my new number. Then I want to.
Tucker, Eric, or a bad cord that someone didn't want. Or right where they were parked today.
Right.
Okay.
And
Now
then-
this widens out, right?
Yeah,
It angles out.
this bump out would be up to the stairs.
No, it's 8 feet, right? It's 8 feet here. That's what you showed me. So you
8 feet, yeah.
you'd probably walk in through the door and then head around the corner and up the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
This wall right here, that angle you got, you can get by again, light the wall up, grab the corner, and you just give it a tug. And I know that's not what that looks like completely.
Pretty close.
That's a lot
But at
closer,
least
isn't
it's
it?
a resemblance.
So
These things do not have to be freaking spot on.
No.
They gotta get you in the ballpark. So don't kill yourself writing a sketch for 17 hours trying to get every angle of just to sketch the room above my garage with all the angles in that freaking ceiling would take you forever.
Yeah.
Just get a basic guesstimate of what that ceiling height is and go.
yeah, you want to capture square footages. That's really the
As best
game.
as possible,
Yeah. So that you guys get paid to clean the wall you cleaned.
Right.
You get paid to clean the windows you cleaned, the doors you cleaned. So then it gets a little easier here because you got these nice squared off rooms.
Yeah.
This is bedroom 2. I don't want to pull a wall off a stairway, but I can pull it from here. So I got a room that's 12 wide. I'm going to put my brake in the hallway because now you see when I drop a brake onto here, you see what it does?
Yeah, it gives
It
you
takes
that
me to the
measurement.
closest wall. So if I put my brake right there, I can pull from the middle of this wall, finger on control, and you say 13.1. If I pull this out, let's see if we're at 13.1. I go to that wall. I'm at 12. That's okay. I wouldn't.
Yeah, it's
I wouldn't sweat the
it's-
foot. It's not gonna be perfect. Cause look at what you're doing here. You're telling me this wall is 10-1 and this wall is 13-1,
Yeah, they don't line up.
right? But you'll get it. Sometimes it's better.
Yeah, my thing is not like this wall is this room actually goes past this room.
Okay.
It's just
Yeah, that's fine.
I didn't scale it.
If I was in a house that was real difficult to sketch, I would do the room. I would sketch this room like over here, and I'd sketch this room over here. I'd sketch this room over here, and then when I sat down, if I couldn't make it work,
Puzzled.
then I just keep it separate.
Okay.
You can do that. This is bedroom 2. I'm going to name it bedroom 2. I don't want to go through this whole sketch. So I'm just going to show you how to put the windows in and all that shit. So make sure you get your. Oh God, it's going to give me a 5-foot window, isn't it? You get 2 windows on this wall. You get this one. I don't know why it's giving you 5-foot windows. I don't know what's happened to this. You can change this in preferences, but I'll show you that. So
is
now-
there a way to slide the window back and forth?
Slide. If you want to start sliding it, you'll just
Yeah.
make it bigger or smaller.
Okay. So where you set it is just where.
Yeah. So now I got those 2 windows in here, right?
Yep.
You get a window here on the stairway.
Yep.
That's for the other set of stairs, right?
Yeah, and then there's a window more so on the first floor.
Okay. All right. So the second set of stairs, if I was going to put a second set of stairs in, I'd probably just go up to the 3rd level and just drop and put the stairs in, because if you put another level in, you can kind of see this is existing underneath. Very faint. It's a guideline to show you if you're
Okay.
close and where you want to put those second set of stairs if you wanted to.
Where was that option?
Down here, this is where you're creating levels, right?
Oh, I see.
So I did the
All right.
2nd floor.
Gotcha.
Then I hit. I created a new level. I can name it, 3rd floor attic or whatever, and I put it up there, and
I see now.
it'll be over this. So if we had sketched this whole thing, you would go back when you were done. You'd go into your estimate items, and you'd see your rooms here. You'd have a header for the 2nd floor. You'd see all your 2nd floor rooms. A header for your 1st floor. You see all your 1st floor rooms, so on and so on. What I like to do early on, sometimes even before the sketch goes in, is I like to account for the things that you could possibly forget about later.
Yeah.
So I'll hit add. This is going to give me a grouping over here, something that if I see comes up with $0 and 0 cents before it goes out, I know that I didn't get something from somebody. I'll hit add. Testing is something we're always going to have, right?
Right.
Testing is going to go in here. Now, asbestos testing is a fee. So in your category, you're going to hit fee, and then here's how you can toggle around and find out what kind of fee, right? These are all different types of fees. You can also search up here. Here's your search. Let's say you're trying to find out, asbestos testing. Just a couple of keywords will bring some options up for you. What I was doing initially when we would order tests is I would put in this asbestos full service base fee. This is never what you're going to bill out. Xactimate will give you pricing for the region for the month that you're in, and some of the stuff will be estimated. Some of the stuff is estimated low, some of it is high. Dumpsters are always high, which is good. Asbestos testing, $380. Unless he's done 4 samples or less, that's not a good number. So if he goes out and for some miraculous reason that house came back clean, which it wouldn't, and he took What's up, Shane?
Hey,
And he took 20 samples. He took 20 samples. It came back clean.
Shane, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
In my desk drawer to the right, your cell phone check. Just can't cash it till obviously Friday.
You guys might want to write this next bit down. Asbestos testing, and you gotta always be checking your invoices from Carl. As of the last price change, it's $13.85 a sample. And he charges $250 a trip.
$285 a trip.
$250 a trip. $13.85 a sample. All right. So if he goes out and he does at this house, he does 20 samples. I'll get 20 times 13.85. That'll give me $277. And I add in his fee to go out, plus his $250, $527. I know I owe him $527, which means I want to get paid 10 and 10 on it. You get 10 and 10 on any number by timesing it by 1.21. We're not getting 10 and 10 on every item on this estimate. They would never allow it. But if Mike is writing a check every time and fronting the money for testing, then that's not right. That's not fair. They need to pay on that. They'll always try not to. Most of the time they won't pay you the 10 and 10 on it, but as long as they pay it while they're paying the rest of this bill, you can probably get by. I don't kick and scream too much, but if you have a dumpster on here and you have something else on here, then they have to pay it. So at 1.21 on 20 samples, now I'm at, his bill was $527 to me, that's what I owe him, but I'm billing the insurance company $637.67. And this is how I'm changing this number.
No, I know.
Within
Yeah, we'll let you know.
this line item,
Okay.
I'm gonna grab that price,
Yep.
click on it. And I am going to click on the calculator, and I'm just gonna manually put this in,
Okay.
637.67.
Is Lavery done?
I'm gonna hit OK. And OK again. Now I got my price in there. You see this turn green?
Right.
That's for the insurance
Okay.
company. That flags the
Can't
insurance
see-
company
can't
that
see
I
why not.
manipulated the price.
Let me just ask him, hey, can we return Berenji on Thursday?
We should be able to.
Yes. Yep,
All right? You see how I did that?
thank you.
Yeah.
Now that you've turned this price green, that flags it. Nothing you can do about it, but they'll see that you changed it, and then they'll call you and they'll say, I want to see the invoice, or I want to see the test results. And you can send them to them, and then they'll call back and they'll say, we're not paying $637. I say, and I'll always say, well, you paying the fucking bill now? I don't want to. You don't want to be arguing over $100, especially if they're going to pay this bill. This bill is probably going to be a lot of money, $20,000 or whatever you guys end up working in here for. But by rights, Mike shouldn't be writing checks, for cost for Carl to go out, and fronting the money for these insurance companies. These insurance companies have an obligation. So that's that. Next thing to add is debris. Debris removal. I'm going to put that in. I'm going to hit insert. So again, I added it. I put what I wanted it to be. I put it in here. Debris removal. I don't know how many dumpsters you'll end up having. I look at that house and I say, based on your demo, let's just say you had 330 yarders in there. I'll use the Xactimate price because it's going to give me a nice fat number, better than D&D's price. Meaning I'm gonna make money by using the Xactimate price, and I'm not gonna manipulate it so it doesn't flag and come up. What did you say that was?
The top right drawer. There's a whole stack of them.
So for dumpsters and demo and stuff like that, your category is gonna be DMO. And from there, you can search in here and find all the demo type of things, you know. Slide down to dumpsters. Here's a 30-yarder. If you slide over, you can see a 30-yarder is in at $834. We can live with that. So I'll click that. I'll hit OK. I'm going to have 3 of them. A lot of demo with this house, so I'm going to change the calculation there. It's going to give me $2,500 worth of dumpsters. That's good for me. Now, if I didn't know where dumpsters were and I put this debris thing in it, I'm like, where can I find the dumpster? I don't remember the DMO category. What was that category? Use your search bar up here. We'll bring up dumpsters. You put the keyword in and you'll find it. Next thing, I always have a job tab on every job, and this is for the stuff that we spend money on and we don't want to not get paid for. Job tab will include trips to go back and monitor equipment, Tyvek suits. I put all sorts of stuff in the job tab. I'm going to put everything that I would put in a job tab in this job tab, so that you guys won't forget, you know, any of this stuff. First thing I'll put in is monitoring. I try to capture and this will be under a water category because it's a monitoring. I know I'm working on a fire. This will be under a water category. And the selecting code is EQ. Equipment setup, takedown, and monitoring, hourly charge. I'm trying to capture the hours that you guys spent doing things over here that we didn't have the ability to charge for up here. Cleaning a wall, cleaning a window, cleaning a floor, demoing a wall, all of that shit. I can't capture it. The hours that you guys go back to make sure a piece of equipment's running or to change a filter, water damages, this is a must. And I'll usually, and the way I'll calculate
Yes, I do know that.
is an hourly charge, but I'll say it's 2 guys and times 4 hours. So the times, that's times.
Okay.
You can do it this way as well. You hit the calculator, 2 times 4 hours, and then I hit OK. Now I have 8 hours worth of you guys doing those types of things over there. And they'll say, well, what is this for? What does this mean? What were you guys doing? And they'll say, if they ask about any oddball line item that you have in there, you can put a note in. Here's your note for any line item. Double click it, and then you can explain. 2 men, 4 hours each to, manipulate equipment. A good note saves a phone call. Hit OK. Now your note's in there. Alright, your PPE stuff goes in here. Most of this stuff that you want to drop into a job tab is you'll find under water. WTR. So PPE, PPE plus. For that house, how many Tyveks am I going to go through in that house? If I'm demoing the kitchen and maybe another room, it's probably a couple of guys, a couple of days,
Yeah.
a couple of changes each, maybe 3. So I got 6 a day. I got maybe 18 Tyveks in there. Capture that money. Water.
Oh, just a quick question.
Yep.
Is that when you have that PPE plus,
Mhm.
that accounts for glove, Tyvek, mask, like it's all one, like a set.
Anything you want to know about a line item, what is included in that cost? You know, highlight your line item. You have some options over here.
Mm-hmm.
Hit on the image, and then click for detail. And this will tell you exactly what you're charging for and what you're not charging for. So if you're not charging for
Okay.
something, you can charge for it. So this is disposable coveralls, tape, gloves, and mask, heavy duty, extra tear resistant disposable coveralls, and then it'll say, a lot of times it'll say, note users may need to blah, 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 blah. But a lot of times it'll say, this doesn't include the man hours to do this or do that, like on a piece of equipment.
Right.
For that, use this code. So that's how you know what it is you're charging for.
Okay.
Hit on that item image, and then hit click for detail.
All right.
All right. Something else you want in this job tab is you may use a bunch of HEPA filters. Maybe you had 6 air scrubbers in that house, and you had to change the filters twice. So under the search, hit HEPA filter, and it'll tell you the different types. Negative air exhaust fan, canister backpacks, upright vacuums, blah, 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 blah. So negative air exhaust fan. Usually, on, Lad's house, we charge for a shitload of these.
Yeah.
It's very rare that you can do that.
Wow, so we can
That's a lot of money,
go
right?
actual HEPA filter.
That's the actual HEPA filter, but it is not often that you're going to be able to
Be allowed to.
be allowed to
Have
charge.
to be a shithole or something.
It has to be a shithole, and you better have photos, right? That show, like we did with Lad.
Right.
Every time you guys went over there, you took a picture of a black filter,
Black, yeah.
it's time stamped, you sent it to me, and I dropped it in the file. On a fire like that, get your pictures of it, but I don't think you'd be able to charge for any more. I would start off by charging for every scrubber you had. So if you had 6 scrubbers in that house, charge them for 6 of these, see if they want to pay it. There's also a pre-filter. Obviously the
Yeah.
carbon filter got wrecked. So I'll just hit filter, and I can get the carbon filters here. Now let's say my carbon filter is 24 by 24, and I got it, and the only option I got is 16 by 16. I'll click it. I'll bring it in here, and then from here, I'll see if they got a bigger one. What they do, see?
Okay.
24 by 24. I don't know what size. So let's say you're using the 16 by 16.
Yeah.
Hit OK. Just because you can't find it in the search bar doesn't mean it doesn't exist. 16 by 16. If I charge them for 6 HEPA filters, I'm going to charge them for 12 of these. I just double the number. I had 6 air scrubbers that I have to clean now, back here at the shop. So again, it's a water code, equipment, EQ, D, decontaminate. If it's bad, DH, heavy. I got 6 of these. I got to open them up. I got to clean them all out, change filters. Again, this is all happening in this job tab.
This is interesting. Like I knew we could charge for it and stuff, but I didn't know that it was all like this.
Yeah. You go out and do a, let's say you did a sewage job or any kind of groundwater. I'd be charging to decontaminate right here. I'll put in 1, and then I'll put in the note, mounts and hoses. You got, obviously you guys should be coming back and cleaning the mounts and hoses before you use it somewhere else. So they should be paying for that. Alright, so this is the type of shit that goes into the job tab. Zippers, sometimes I'll throw all you have the option to throw your water barrier in the room that you use. So let's say I'm demoing this room and I'm going to throw some plastic up. Again, it's a water code, water barrier. And then they want the square feet that you're using. If I'm just covering a doorway, I
Right.
just charge them for 100 square feet, because I figure that's how much you ruined trying to get the fucking thing to fit. And then I'll charge them for the zipper. Water, barrier, and then here's your zipper. Those things are $12 in here in Xactimate. Charge them for a zipper. Now I'm cleaning this room. Your category selector is CLN for clean. And everything in here, you know, when I look at a room, I start with the shell. AV will give me ceilings and walls. So this WC, because I put windows and doors in this room, it's backed out the square footage for the windows and the doors. You don't need to do it. WC takes care of the square footage in that room, minus whatever windows and doors we put in. That's a fire, so I'm going to put a plus sign. Anytime something is heavier than normal, put a plus sign on it. See, it bumps up your unit cost. I got to clean the floor. CLNF. I didn't strip and wax the floor. I cleaned it, so that was a minus sign, but it was heavy. Plus sign. Here's my square footage of the floor. Clean the floor. Now, and then you go through the whole room like that. Windows, doors, CLN door, right? CLN window.
And it's you literally have to like cross your T's and dot your I's when doing a room, or it's not like it doesn't preload an estimation of what needs to be cleaned in a typical room.
No.
You have to put it in.
You have to put it in, but if you get used to it, it'll move quick. This is different size windows. I just want to show you this. You know, it's going to give you one standardized, but if you had smaller windows and light, heavy cleaning, that type of thing. But I know, like, I gotta go in the hallway and do the same thing I did in this room. I gotta clean the walls and ceiling. I gotta clean the floor. So now I want to copy and paste and just drop these in the other room, because it's not going to drop in the square footage from this room. It's going to adjust the square footage for the room you're dropping it into. All right. So I want to clean windows. I want to clean the ceiling. I'm going to hit Control. I'm going to grab the floor, the door, the windows, and I'm going to hit right click. I'm going to copy them. I'm going to bring them into the hallway. I'm going to right click down here. I'm going to hit paste. It's brought all those things over, but with the appropriate square footages. Now, maybe the one room had 5 windows in it, and I don't need 5 windows in the hallway. It will bring 5 windows into the hallway. You just click on whatever line item and change this number. Hit OK.
Okay.
All right. So now you got correct windows and doors. Everything's in here. Don't assume something's not in here. Baseboard, crown molding, chair rails, chandeliers, recessed light. Everything that would be in that house if those people moved out, you'll find in here. You just got to find it. I can't possibly go through all of it with you.
Right.
The contents of the room, when you're doing a sketch, outside. You've seen my sketchbook.
Mm-hmm.
You would never be able to figure it out because it's sloppy, but I understand it. And I understand the shorthand that I use for people's shit. Right. So you'll have to develop a shorthand. You go into somebody's bedroom, they got bunk beds. You're gonna start off writing bunk beds. You know what I mean? And then you're gonna go to BB, and you're gonna know in the bedroom. Right. Yeah, that's bunk beds to me. This is what I would do. I would put the W's where you put the W's. I put the D's. I don't even show the opening. I just put a D for door.
Okay.
But as far as content goes, it's all in here too. Your 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 category codes for, furniture, hard furniture, is CHF. So if I'm gonna cleaning hard furniture, I'm gonna do an armoire, ARM. There's the armoire, but it's really fucked up. You have to clean it heavy. Okay, now you're dropping furniture in. Cleaning hard furniture desk. It's big desk. Heavy clean. This will change the size, up or down, and this will change the need to clean. Is it really bad? Is it light? Is it just in between? Upholstery is always CUP. Cleaning upholstery. Sofa. Linear feet. You'll always look over here to see what it is they're asking you. Square feet, linear feet. And they're asking me for the linear feet of the sofa. Sofa's 6.5 feet. 6.5. $31.12. That's the sofa. Was the sofa heavy cleaning? Now it's $226. Any fire, everything's heavy. Until they tell you it's not. All right. Countertop. Now we're back to a structural item. Let's say I forgot to put the countertop in. CLN. Countertop is CTF. You can see they're not asking me for linear feet of the countertop. They're asking me for square feet. So get the linear feet, times it by 2. It's 2 feet from here to the wall. There's an example of money that you don't want to leave on the table. See these cabinets here, wall cabinets? You got to clean up above them. You got to clean that shelving. Don't forget that. So it's CLNSH, clean shelving wood, and that's all that built-in shelving people have. That I always want to grab what's up above that wall cabinet if it's there. Add that in, and that is a linear foot cost.
And you would put in the notes above kitchen cabinets, something like that.
Well, if there was a shitload of shelving in the kitchen, I would put in that it included that.
Okay.
These wire ones are tough to clean. That's just add the eye. $1.49 a linear foot to clean the wire ones. All right. These ones, the fires and the cleanings are the hardest ones to do, most time consuming.
Right.
One thing I did not show you, because I thought we were going to be looking at a water damage, but if you were to put a fire in, and you can do it with this one, I can either do this from Control Center when I can just add a new one, and I can change the profile. I wouldn't let me change the profile. Usually I'll ask you what profile you want. Alright, so right here I can do it. I'll just change this to, I use Liberty Mutual. Contractor will only allow you to use, to show one coverage. Liberty Mutual, this profile doesn't need to be a Liberty Mutual job. Add a new project, and now when I put a line item in, I don't know why this is. Somebody's been screwing around with this already. So it'll allow you to put the separate coverages in. So CLN AV, and you'll see there's an extra box down here. So see how it says dwelling? All right. So that'll be, the adjuster wants to know how much of this $10,000 is structure, how much of it is content, and you can manipulate that. Change it here to contents. You don't have to change you shouldn't have to change any of this. So if I put in a sofa, and the sofa is a content. It'll come up as content.
Okay.
And the reason I show you this is sometimes you'll be in a job and the guy will tell you I can't pay for any contents. There's no content coverage on this, and we have line items that we need to use. Even when dealing with the structure, that'll pop up as a content item. If they tell you they can't pay for contents, just change this. You just want to make sure that everything comes up as dwelling on your estimate. Right? If they're telling you there's no content coverage, then you don't give them a content item. Even if you're cleaning the sofa, put it in as dwelling. All right, and that's in the Liberty Mutual profile. That's the profile you want to use for fires. Okay, now, if you still want to use that one that we were doing, you can just duplicate it and
I think I'm a little confused on that.
you can hit duplicate, and it'll ask you right here, what profile do you want to use? So now I can put this in Liberty Mutual. Problem is, now that I started it in here, it's probably all one coverage or the other. So the items that I've done so far, I might have to go back and correct some of those. But now as I continue to produce that estimate, the coverages will come up correct. So usually if I duplicate something, the name will be right here. I don't know why this is doing this. All right. I can probably hit refresh and get it to come up, but I don't know why that does that. Oh, I didn't put names in. Maybe that's why. Oh, there's Nunez right there. All right. You guys want to look at something else, a water damage or?
Yeah, let's just take a piss real quick, and just kind of maybe a silly question, or maybe I just misheard you about that content thing,
About the coverages?
Yeah, like
Every line item.
What confused me was if they don't have content coverage,
Oh,
and
that's.
we're not dealing with it. Why are we putting it in?
There are some of our items. I think maybe dumpster might be one of them, or that's dwelling. Comes up as dwelling. There are some items that you'll be using on a structure-only loss. And all I'm saying is, if it comes up with a coverage that says content on it, and you already know that there's no coverage for contents, that you don't want it to say contents.
Are we?
And it's very easy just to switch it over to dwelling. And they don't care. They're not gonna come back and say, oh, it's a content item, I'm not paying me for it. They just wanna see that their paperwork, that everything says dwelling on it. See? And that is right here, and that's in a Liberty Mutual profile, coverage, dwelling contents. And you can use a Liberty Mutual profile. It doesn't need to be a Liberty Mutual job. As long as you're using the right price list, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
You can add coverages. You might go into one and it does, maybe you want to add, they want to know sometimes they'll want to have a mold coverage in there, because they want to know where mold cuts off, 10,000, and what items are for the mold. You guys know.
Right.
You use an air scrubber, you put up some containment, or you're in Tyvek, you can put all that shit under mold. You want to add a coverage, you hit add coverage, you click the blank space. Click on the smart list, see if it's in there. I don't think it's in there, but you can add mold. Just on this estimate. I want to just put it onto this estimate, not all of them. So there's mold. So now when I go to put a line item in, I can change this to mold. I know it's a lot.
It's repetition.
Yeah.
As I told you before, you're never going to remember everything he told you today. You need to get in and play with it and just do it and do it and do it. That's the only way to learn how to navigate it. There's, as I said, the reason Colvin can't do this is there's no easy button. There's no create estimate. You know, you got to create it yourself.
Yeah, it's just practice. If you want to take a break, Tom,
Yeah.
I'll show you water damage. You'll be doing more of those, I think, than anything else. Or you should be. And I can show you mold, and then
Hey, Rich, do you have your Visa card on you?
Oh, you need to activate it. His, Southwest card,
Yeah?
you need to call with your social security number.
Really?
Yeah, you had to do it for my Southwest card too.
Would you just get one in?
No.
Southwest card?
No, I've had it, I just never used it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes, so that's the new one, which I got for this guy, which is the old one.
Yeah. And you haven't called, we haven't,
I did not call it actually, I haven't seen it or used it.
okay,
Haven't activated it, do the room,
okay.
or I think you have to activate the black one.
Really?
And I just got that one, whatever, last week or something.
Are you watching this Jordan thing?
no.
Not interested, or thinking?
I think I would enjoy it, but I just really don't. I don't know if I care enough about that time period in Chicago basketball history. You know, I think it probably is one of those things that would grab me, like Tiger King, if I started watching it. But
Tiger King didn't grab me.
it didn't. It didn't grab me off the first episode, but I would say episodes 2 through 5 were fantastic,
Really?
and then 6 and 7 I didn't really care for. Yeah, I thought 2 through 5 were like, well, this is fucking fucked up. But
Maybe I'll just skip the 2. I'm just hearing bits and pieces. And the thing that gets me, and I heard it yesterday with Dale Arnold, saying, you know, I came out of it thinking, you know, Jordan was just a punk and a bully. And I lost a lot of respect for the guy. You know, saying homophobic slurs in the locker room to players and, you know, blah, 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 blah. You know, I don't know when smoking was invented. 20s, whatever. You know, not smoking, but cigarettes.
mm,
Well, do you really think a person in the 20s is an idiot for smoking? They didn't know.
mm,
They had no idea.
mm.
They advertised that their doctors recommended that
Yeah.
that brand.
So,
Yeah.
so
Start off with the kind of most convoluted thing there, working on a whole house fire in an old house at that.
It's a great start.
Yeah. Probably start on other things and work your way up. Water damages are easy. You know, it's usually a couple of rooms. Same thing. Get your pictures in. Put your sketch in. I always use a contractor profile. You know, so I'll put in Rich. I'll put in.
Tom, do you have your Southwest card on you?
Dwyer Rich. Fill out all your shit, like I said. But you're writing it. Put your name on it.
Yours is all set.
This is a
Yeah,
water
yeah.
damage.
I have another one, but
This one.
it's in Jackie's desk somewhere. 'Cause it kept getting hacked.
All right. Same thing. This is a 2-page process here. This claim info. So make sure you get your price list should be automatically loading in. Why it's not, I don't know. It should be an automatic. Company header is there. Your opening statement is going to be the insurance company, adjuster info, all that bullshit. Click out of that. Get your photos in, grab them from Drybook. We've gone over that. Put your sketch in. You got a room. You got another room. Your estimate items. And like I said, when you come over here, you want to drop in these tabs before you forget them. Testing. Debris. Job. It could be anything. You can have anything in there. You've got this folder here because it's not a measured room. But you don't want to forget that these things should all have dollar signs after them. And you know what goes in here. You go into a room, one of you guys went over there, they had to extract the carpet, water, extract carpeted floor. If it was a hard floor, add an H. This is one of the things, this water category, that you're going to want to go through everything. I would go top to bottom and just look at all these things. All of these things that you can have in a water loss. Remove wet ceiling tile and drywall and bag for disposal. We usually are removing a suspended ceiling. Remove wet suspended ceiling tile, bag for disposal after hours. Everything is in here. Anything you would do in a water damage, every piece of equipment. The way I show equipment in a room, you tell me you got 4 fans in room 1, and I'm going to go water, dry. The dryers are your fans, dry plus, those are your axles. You've got, just like man hours, I got 4 fans in there times 3 days. That's the quick way to do it. It's just to use the time sign up there. But you can do it this way too. You can click on the calculator and just hit 4 times 3. Okay, whatever's good for you. 4 fans by 3 days. Hit OK. When you go to put a note in, you find yourself writing the same note over and over again, then use the template. In the template, I put a bunch of, who knows if they're still here. Equipment usage. Pieces multiplied by days being charged, not necessarily days in use. I found that this is a good note to have. Pieces multiplied by, so when they go, what is 4 times 3? They're looking at it. Actually, this comes up on the estimate. It just says 12 days. And they're like, 12 days? You guys were there for 3 days. No, that means 4 fans, pieces, multiplied by days, 3 days, that I charged for. Not necessarily the days in use. Is sometimes you're charging for 3 days and you had them in there for 4.
Right.
All right, if you hit close, that note goes in. Dehumidifiers, water, DHM. Now you're going to change sizes by going up and down here. These are the ones we use. How do I know? I hit click on detail and it tells me. Equipment cost for a dehumidifier unit based on 24 hours runtime. AM certified rating 70 to 109 pints. If I had a bigger DH in there, and I click for detail, it'll tell me that this is the DH for 110 to 159 pints.
Are those greater than signs you're putting in there?
Yes.
Okay.
I know all of these codes. It's That's why I can go through it quick. You don't know them, you're gonna have to go into the calculation, you're gonna go into the category, and you're gonna have to learn them from here. Everything's in here. You want to cut a wall, water, dry. Remember that was a fan, but if I put a W after it, now that's drywall. Tear out drywall. And tear out drywall by the square foot, or if I put LF right there, it's gonna tell me how much linear feet did you take out that was up to 2 feet off the ground. If I cut the whole room 2 feet, I'm fine. I can stop there. I got PF, perimeter of floor. If I click on that, what are my other options? It'll bring you up to that, and then it'll give you some options nearby. Well, you can go up to 4 feet. You can go up to 4 feet, category 3 water. Right? Go up to 4 feet, category 3 water after hours. Right? And everything is jumping up in price. So I guess my advice to you is, you know, don't assume that you got the right line item. Go into this, try to get close, and then look around. See what you got. You can be paid, you know, you guys went out there after hours, right? After hours, I put that in the job tab. I put your PPE in the job tab. You had to pull a dishwasher, it's there, right? You have to move a wash machine, you have to move a dryer, it's in there. You gotta remove and replace a refrigerator, it's in there. So these codes are what you gotta learn. I would go into an estimate, and I would put a WTR in here, and then I would learn all these. I would go and I would put a CLN in here, and I would learn all these. What are the things I can clean? You know, stairway, balustrades, bilinear foot. And everything can be charged as heavy or light. CLN, WTR, CUP is upholstery. Let me write this down for you. So WTR. Another pen that works. You writing this down, Rich? WTR, CLN, CUP, DMO, you wanna learn all those stuff. You want to always remember to get your testing on there. Always, so you have a testing tab, have a job tab, have a debris tab.
What do you, speaking of debris, when you pull up the drop-down boxes,
Yep.
it'll do more than just dumpsters. It'll do like,
Right.
it'll do like by the bag or
Right, so any of these categories have their own lists. So DMO, I can contractor bag,
Okay.
but you'll find bags are also included if let's say I go to tear the floor out. I have the option of tearing out the hardwood floor with or without a bag. I always do everything with a bag.
Yeah.
But you get bags here. Dust control barriers. Debris chutes. Let's say you're not using a dumpster. You're just bringing shit back here.
Yep.
You can do it with a pickup truck. You guys do it with a van. You tell me that the van or the box truck is full. Then I will use a dumpster, but I got a note in there. So you come back with a box truck worth of debris out of a loss. I didn't have a dumpster on site. I know that they're gonna, if they see a dumpster, they're gonna say, there was no dumpster. So under the debris, I'll put in that, I'll put in that dumpster. Came back, and that box truck holds what, maybe
It's like
12 yards?
14 feet.
Yeah. Say it holds like, it could be 2 pickup trucks. It could be 3 pickup trucks, so DMO pickup, that's a full pickup truck,
Oh, okay.
all right? That's $222, but maybe you had a pickup truck and a half,
Mm.
right? 1.5. I hit okay, and then in my note, I don't have to put anything in there for that, but if I used a dumpster, let's say I had a 30-yard dumpster, but it was our dumpster,
Yep.
I'll put the dumpster in. I'll anticipate that this asshole is going to tell us we didn't have a dumpster there. And I'm going to click on the note, and in the template that I've created, I have SP dumpster, ServPro's dumpster, percentage of space, debris from this loss occupied in our Willard Street dumpster.
Okay.
All right.
And then do 0.5, 0.75, 1.
Transported by box
blah, blah.
van. Basically, this just means don't call me.
Right.
Right? And I got a bunch of these. So you click on your notes, you got that note, equipment usage, EQ. People want to know what EQ is, man hours specific to monitoring trips and or removal of equipment. That is for that, like I said. You guys are monitoring. Goes in the job tab. It is water EQ. Equipment setup, takedown, and monitoring hourly charge. And if it's one guy going out, fine. But show one guy and the amount of, one guy went to Fitchburg 3 times.
So you got
It's probably an hour and a half of his time wasted
Right.
that day on that job. So it's 1 times, I'll say 4. And they'll say, and it'll come up on their estimate as 4 hours. And right as they're scratching their head, they'll read their note. Here it is, EQ. Man hours specific to monitoring trips and or removal of equipment. You want to get paid just to go back and get the stuff. Close. Okay. When you start playing with this, maybe you want to change your rooms. If you want to change both your rooms, the way they're laid out, rotate them, flip them, flip vertical, rotate them again. Maybe I want to put a reference area in here. I'm going to click that. You want to show some cabinets or something. Here's your cabinets. Put that in there. Why? All right. So this will be a areas specific to cabinets. And you can label it cabinets. And let's say you're going to put pull in the floor in this kitchen, but you don't want to show the floor under the cabinets. The easiest way to do this would have been just to, I'll just look at this room and I'll say I'm pulling 85% of the floor. I can go into my estimate item, job 2, and I'll go, it'll be water. I'm going to pull a floor after hours. Full tile floor, and I'll just change this to 0.85 floor. I got 85% of that floor space. But another way you can do it is within the sketch you can mark this, go into the properties for that box that you put in, and it says hole no, change it to hole yes, and that just means that this
Pulls out the floor,
pulls out the floor.
but not the room cubic footage or anything.
No, because I clicked within the cabinets.
Yeah.
So it's going to take all the whatever's going on under the cabinets out of the equation.
Okay.
You don't really get asked for this. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but on occasion. Let me show you how I did the attic molds, because a lot of that comes up a lot. And they're pretty easy.
Yeah.
You know how to measure. I'm just going to use the same one. So let me just go to, I'll create another level for the attic, right? Attic. And Rich or somebody comes, you come back with a measurement, you go up and you measure the attic, you need 3 measurements in 99% of all attics,
That
right?
one's actually an attic right there.
Okay. I can't even understand this, what you've done here. This is probably 1,000 times better than I ever would have sketched it. So this is an attic. And I know that I'm gonna have a length, a width, and a peak height. Those are the 3 measurements I need to capture that attic and everything I'm gonna do up there. So your attic is always gonna lay out the long way this way. And you need to know that for when you put your peak in. So let's say you tell me that your attic is 35 feet long, 25 feet wide. You poked your head up, you measured, as best as you could from here to here to here to here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you came up with. But I know this isn't an 8-foot ceiling, right?
Right.
Right-click it, hit properties. It's not a box ceiling now. It's a peaked ceiling. See? This is a box. This is a sloped. How many times did I ask you? Hey,
Yeah.
your pictures are a slope, Rich. What's your height?
What's the measure here?
This is peaked. That's it. So to me, and it looks a little off-center, and it is, but that's an attic ceiling. All right? Now, what I want to do in here, and if you're doing a lot of mold estimates, this is the easiest estimate you can write, is your short wall and your tall wall are the same. That's this guy and this guy. And they're all 6 inches or less. They start off with a foot. If you try to say that my peak height is 5, it will stop you because your short wall and your tall wall are taller. So you got to go to your short wall, your tall wall, which to me are the same height, and you got to take those down first. So go down to a foot, and then go down to 6 inches. Now you're in the eve, right?
Right.
6 inches is good. And now you can put your peak height in. My peak height is 5 feet. All right? Now that's your attic. No windows, no doors, none of that shit. When you come into your items, so here's your attic. You want a job tab for it. If you're going to be manipulating content, you want a tab for that. Or you can just put it in the attic. But I'll have a job tab. Let's say I have a job tab just for this. Just put it there. All right. Where are my items? I got to move this up to see my items. What the fuck? I'm just deleting that. I don't even know what the fuck that is. All right, so I got a job tab for the attic, and I will in here I will put your filters, your PPE, your your trips for equipment, any of that stuff. But your attic is going to get RMR'd, right?
Mhm.
So what I'll do is I will still use the dry ice blast price. And, you know, is it bad? Let's say it's heavy. You know, Rich will show me that it's one slope and the other slope isn't bad, or one slope is worse than the other. I want to change this wording to mold, treat, and seal. We change in products all the time, or if somebody wants to see a safety data sheet, you can show it to them, but I don't know what product you guys are going to be using, so I just want to make sure that I'm getting this unit cost, and I'm going to put in 0.5 ceiling. Usually the joists aren't too affected, but if they are, I'm going to put 0.5 ceiling times 2.25, and that'll account for all the joists, all the square footages of all the joists. And for the most part, you put that in, you're not going to get the job. 0.5 ceiling, $3,700 just to do half of that attic if it's heavy. Excuse me, 1,800. And then let's say that they and let's say the other half of the attic was lighter. Copy it, paste it in. It'll ask you this because you're putting the exact same line item back in. Hit OK. But now you're just going to change the unit cost.
Right, without the plus.
Because this one is lighter, much lighter. So that, combined with PPE, you're there all day, 2 guys, you both changed out, 4. You had an air scrubber running. You had an air scrubber running. You're going to lease charge them for the carbon filter. You're going to charge them to clean that air scrubber, EQD. And you're going to charge them for setting it up, taking it down, and whatever containment you needed. If you had to manipulate content up in that attic, you can put that in too. You can put it up right up in the attic. Content. Content manipulation, one. You can do 1 hour. You can do content room. If it's a big room. The only thing you got to remember on a mold estimate is go back to the claim info. Got to have some sort of disclaimer in here. I don't know if you still have it in here. I don't know what the hell happened to this. Yeah, if mold growth. See, if you're writing a mold estimate, in this parameter section, the one that you use for adjuster info on a claim, you're doing this for the homeowner, you want to use if mold growth. In this note I wrote, if mold growth is a result of inadequate ventilation or active water intrusion, this will need to be corrected in order to minimize the possibility of recurrence. Also, please note our office does not test for the presence, type, or spore count of mold. If this information is desired, an independent hygienist will need to be contracted by the homeowner. This covers you in case whatever they're doing in their attic to grow mold, they don't correct.
Right.
And then they call you a year from now, and they say, I got
Yeah.
mold again.
Right.
Well, I told you, if mold growth is a result of inadequate ventilation or active water intrusion, you need to fix it. Or this will happen. Hit that. hit okay, and when you send this out, and this estimate out, this will be on the cover page, this note.
How do you get from what we're done
To
to the ready point to send it out?
So if you think you're ready, you think you've got your line items done and your notes and everything looks good, hit reports. And what the type of report that you want is to send is always this one, final draft with without removal depreciation. You got other options. You can do a scope if you wanted to send, Shane the work without showing prices.
Right.
You can print up the scope, but this is the one you would send to the homeowner. And you have the option, if you've got pictures in, you can send them the pictures too. Probably don't need that, they probably know what it looks like up there. The sketch, it's your option, you can send it or not send it. But when you get ready to send it, just hit export.
Okay.
Export, it'll ask you if you want to save it, you do. Hit OK. Make sure you're on your desktop. And then just name it, Smith Attic Estimate.
Right.
Hit save, it'll go to your desktop, then you can just send it to them. Make sense? This is gonna get sloppy in here, but you call me. It's just learning the
Yeah, it's just
code.
being on it.
Yeah, it's being
Just doing it.
What is your log on for Exact? Or do we want to change it?
Yeah, you probably want to take me off of it, I would think. They got a log on for Jackie.
Okay,
They got Jackie's log on.
right.
So, and they've got their names in there now, so when they write an estimate,
Just click on it.
How do we have access to that?
it's the same the way you do. You're on here.
No, I'm on Jackie's.
Oh.
I think I'm on Jackie's too.
Well, anybody can get there from Jackie's.
Okay.
Or Jackie can create, she can pull my credit and
Put it to them.
put it to them,
Okay,
enter it for them.
all right. And what about your computer log on?
I don't have one.
Just when you sign on, there isn't one?
No,
Not
I just open it up and it just,
PASS 1, 2, 3, 4? Do you think you're gonna want access to it? You potentially want to
Maybe.
get back into your Exact?
maybe to help you guys look at something. But you're in there. See,
I made one the other day, but I forget who I went in on.
I don't know what the licenses are mean.
We pay for
3.
how many people can be on at once. So
I think you pay for
1
3.
token, 2 tokens. Right now we have 2. You and Jackie can be on at the same time. So we pay for 2.
Okay.
So if me, Rich, and Tom all wanted to work on Xactimate at the same time, I'd have to buy a different token.
All
I'd
right.
have to buy an additional token from Exact. That's how it's all done. It's all done on tokens.
I always thought you had 3, but I could be wrong.
Yesterday, when I was trying to log in,
Yep.
it kept saying that it had to shut down.
Were you
Had
doing
to
it from here?
close. No,
You weren't on Internet Explorer?
I wasn't on an Explorer, but also I didn't know if it's because 2 people were on or someone else was on. I didn't know how that worked, so
Right.
I was assuming that at that time that's what it was. That
Yeah, I don't know if Jackie's gonna ask for your exact credentials so that we can change them. I think that,
You got the option of changing them, or you can use mine. She can let me know. I'd probably prefer that you got me on.